Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hello Day with Down to Earth Astronomy. It's Monday, so let's take a look at what's been going on in Elite and on the channel. Now, of course, the major news from last week was the gameplay video posted by Frontier, where we saw 3 of the community managers running a single mission in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. While I did do a dedicated video on it, I still feel like I wanted to cover it here, because after it was published, I saw a lot of people having some critique regarding the gameplay video, and it varied. It was some people were complaining about the graphics, some people were complaining about the AI, and some people just seemed to complain. I could definitely see that there is things to critique about the video and where Odyssey is. We have to remember it's pre-alpha and lots are still going to change, but I felt like it was receiving more criticism than what I felt like, what I would expect it to, at least. So one of the things that I did was I posted a poll on my community tab, and I know while this is not 100% representative of the full community, it would still help me to try and figure out if this was a general opinion in the community, or if it was like a smaller, very vocal group who had negative opinions about it. And the results were that 48% say they were overall positive, with 44% saying they were around neutral, and only 8% says they were overall negative around the Odyssey update. So it seems to me that it is well, right, 8% is still quite a few people. It still seems like it is a smaller but very vocal group of people who were not too pleased. But it's also interesting to see such a large amount, I mean 44% of people still being undecided and don't really know what they think about Odyssey. And I think this comes down to 2 things mainly. First of all, the fact that this is still like alpha or pre-alpha actually at this stage, since the alpha test hasn't started yet. But I think the other point is that so far, the last dev diary was very focused around like suits and weapons, and this gameplay video also heavily featured combat. We haven't seen that much from the other aspects of Odyssey yet. We have seen like a scanner, so we know you can like scan plants, and we'd see some renders of plants, but that's about it. We've seen a few pictures, but that's it. We haven't seen anything regarding those gameplay loops. We know there's going to be multiple types of missions, of course, and it's also one of the things that they highlighted in the interview they did following the gameplay video, was that what we saw in that video was one type of mission on one type of settlement solved in one of many ways that you could go and you could solve that mission. So just because they went in with like a sneaky way in and a loud way out doesn't mean that that is necessarily the only way to complete that mission. One of the other critique points that I saw a lot was the fact that the NPCs seem to have been trained at shooting at some kind of stormtrooper military training camp or something like that, because their shots were all over the place. It was confirmed that, first of all, the AI for the NPCs are still being worked on, and the NPCs that they spawned in were at a very low difficulty rating. So just like we have with ships, that they can be anywhere from harmless to elite, and that changes the way the ships fly and how accurate they are with their shots. The same thing goes for on foot NPCs. They also have varying rating for how accurate they are and how well they dodge incoming fire, how much like they move around, that kind of thing. And of course, here for the video, they spawned in some of the more easy NPCs, which will explain the like scatter shots everywhere and the some odd behavior. So hopefully that's something we're going to be seeing improving as we begin to see some of the more difficult NPCs, how they behave, how accurate they're going to be, and also how difficult they're going to be to fight. I also want to reply to some of the comments that people said that they felt I was a little nitpicky in my video where I dissected the gameplay video. And the reason I am nitpicky in videos like this is because what I'm looking for is gameplay mechanics. I'm looking for how does the shield recharge work? How does energy management work? How does all these different mechanics in the game work? Those are the things I'm looking for. And it was made a little bit more difficult by the fact that the video was a clipped together version of it. And that was why I focused so much on how things change through the video and the timestamps and those kind of things, because I wanted to try and figure out which clips kind of belong together. Of course, this is going to be much easier when we get the hands on the game ourselves here at the end of the month. Because, of course, the video did end with the announcement of the alpha. The alpha is going to be on the 29th of this month. That means actually 2 weeks from now. So if anything is as it usually is with these alpha tests, at least with beta tests in the past, what Frontier would do would be 1 to 2 weeks before, often 2 weeks, that would be around now, Frontier is going to take a snapshot of the server state. That means wherever you are, wherever your character are at, it could be right now, it could be next week, we don't know. But wherever your character are, how much money you have, everything's going to be basically just copy that, and that's where you're going to start off on the alpha. And then when the alpha is running, this is going to be running completely parallel with the live game, meaning that any changes, any things you do in the alpha test is going to have no effect. It's going to be a completely parallel universe. No effect on what's happened on the live server, and anything you do on the live server is going to have no effect on the alpha. And once the alpha test is then concluded, that parallel track is going to be terminated, deleted, and you then only have the main track. I also quickly want to mention the community goal that's running this week, because it is actually quite interesting. Both from a lore perspective with the whole Galactic Summit happening and all the lore around that, it's quite interesting. But from a more like metagaming perspective, there are some pretty cool paint jobs given out as part of this of these community goals. We had some cool ones for the Viper last week, and I believe it's for a Cobra Mark III this week. I'm a much bigger fan of the Cobra, so I'll probably actually try to get the paint job this time. I think I managed to get the 75% on the Viper for the last community goal, but I'll definitely go and try to get my hands on at least the 75. Don't think I'm going to go all the way to 25 because they are quite sought after. But anyway, if you want yourself a cool paint job for a Cobra, then go and take part in the current community goal. I think there are 2 community goals up and running, both giving the same paint job. One is for trade, one is for combat. And finally, I just want to quickly mention the live stream tomorrow, which will be same place, time as usual, YouTube, Twitch. Forgetting the topic, I might actually go and run the community goal, just because it could be fun. I did the exact same thing last week, and I kind of want to mix it up. And for quite a while, I wanted to go out and do some mining again, since it's been quite a while since I've taken out the mining ships. They need a dust off, I think. So I was actually considering going and doing that. I'm not sure. I'll see. Maybe I'll run the community goal like off camera, just like join up with some people on Discord, fly in a wing, and then go and get some quick money for the community goal there. I don't know. I'll see what happens. And anyway, we'll hope we'll see you guys at live stream tomorrow, regardless of whether it's gonna be mining or if it's gonna be combat. But thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.